Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jazzy RN. I have been a remote utilization review nurse for over 9 years, and the goal of my channel is to help nurses pivot from the bedside to remote work. Just a little background about me. I've worked remotely for over 9 years, and I've worked for 3 different companies. And if you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. So this first company is Gentiva, and they're hiring an RN clinical review specialist. I always first go to the qualifications first. Even if you don't meet all qualifications, I would still suggest you to apply anyway. The first set of qualifications are, well, this disclaimer is, this is a work from home position. To support operational needs and business hours, candidates should reside in one of these states: Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Kansas, Michigan, Missouri, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, or Virginia. And then what you'll bring: RN currently licensed in the state of residence, minimum of 3 years hospice and home care experience, including at least 1 year in clinical record review and QAPI, experience participating in state surveys, valid driver's license and insurance coverage, strong understanding of documentation records to support medical necessity for hospice care, knowledge of hospice federal and state regulations, ability to manage confidential information with discretion, initiative in researching and resolving documentation issues, skill at gathering and processing time-sensitive data from multiple sources, flexible, responsive, and able to adapt to changing priorities in a fast-paced environment. The preferred experience but not required is a BSN or equivalent degree, previous experience in home care, home-based documentation systems, prior quality assurance leadership experience in a hospice setting. The next position is with Providence, and they're hiring a clinical program manager RN. The requirements are an associate's degree or bachelor's degree in nursing, a California RN license upon hire, 3 years experience in utilization management, experience working with Interqual and MCG guidelines. I'm going to pause right there. Now, even if you don't have MCG and Interqual experience, if you go to the description box below, you'll come to this link that will take you to Cure the Bedside Burnout. Now, this very first top part here regarding the target companies, these are a list of insurance companies or staffing companies that hires nurses to work remotely in the United States. This is nurses who live in the United States and who are American nurses. There are some companies here that hire nurses who work in Australia, the Philippines, Canada, the UK, etc. Now, this is a very long list. If you want to navigate quicker, you can go here to where it says resume tips. It will bring you to a new screen. Now, this screen is regarding tips to make your resume more marketable, as well as how to format your resume template. So on the left-hand side, I do suggest you add platforms or software to your resume for each job that you've worked, current and previous. So you want to promote Microsoft Office, of course, Epic, Cerner, Protouch, etc. Any software or programs or anything that's tech related that you work on at your current job and previous job, you want to add that to your resume. Also, write your resume with this in mind: what you did, why it's important, and how it relates to the job that you want. You want to promote your transferable skills. And here's an example. This example is mostly geared towards utilization review / utilization management. On the right hand side, this is a template of how my resume looks. Now, just make sure your resume doesn't have any kind of special characters. You want to stick to maybe Arial or Times New Roman. Also, make sure that your resume has the current job as present tense and your previous job as past tense. I'm going to skip this part where it has the bedside nursing and how it relates to an insurance nurse. You can look at that at your leisure. And right below that, if you were to do a Google search on Interqual certification or MCG certification, this is your options you have. I'm not actually being paid to promote Interqual or MCG. This is just an option for you to make your resume more marketable. That way you'll have Interqual or MCG on your resume that you already are certified, even though you don't have any job experience using either Interqual or MCG. Back to the job. So the preferred qualifications are a master's degree in nursing, 5 years experience as a utilization review or case manager in an acute care setting, and experience in a multi-hospital and or integrated health care system. This next company is Caris Partners, and they're looking for a remote nurse care coordinator. And this position requires you to have a current, active, and unrestricted nursing license. This can be RN or LPN, preferred workers' compensation and case management experience, 1 to 2 years minimum, certified case manager, designation preferred, bilingual ability, English and Spanish. This is required, and must be able to work 11:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and all time zones are accepted. So I'm guessing here that no matter what time zone you live in, your work hours will be between 11:30 a.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this last company is AmeriHealth Caritas, and they're hiring a clinical appeals reviewer. And the experience and education required is at least an associate's degree in nursing that is required, 3 or more years experience in a related clinical setting and working with diagnosis procedure codes, coding experience preferred, working knowledge of Interqual. And just a FYI, Interqual I've noticed is more popular than MCG. The 3 companies I've worked for all use Interqual, and only 1 company used MCG, but they started off with Interqual. They had us on MCG for maybe about a year and a half, and then back to Interqual again. Proficiency in Windows 10 environment and utilizing MS Office, including Word, Excel, and Outlook. Proficiency in using electronic medical records. Make sure you promote your usage of Cerner, Epic, Meditech, Protouch, whatever EHR you use, electronic health record or electronic medical record. Make sure that's included on your resume. And familiarity with the appeals process, preferably within a managed care organization. And just an FYI, utilization review is very similar to appeals, reviewing authorizations. I actually have 2 weeks of experience. I was cross-trained to work on the appeals department because they were kind of backed up, and what they do is very similar to what utilization review does. And last but not least, current and unrestricted RN licensure or compact state licensure.